Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me today. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I'm a medium, divine channeler, remote spirit extractor, white witch, and divine alchemist, and I also happen to be a divine feminine on the path of ascension. Blessings to everyone joining me today. For those of you who have subscribed to the channel, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And if you're new, hopefully you will become a subscriber. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Lots of great videos, everything from the Wiccan path, to Magickal path, to the Ascension, to Twin Flames, we have it all here. We have it all. So I know a lot of channels, might be just a Magickal channel, and then we have other channels that are just about the Ascension or just about Twin Flames. We combine the whole thing here, guys. So I hopefully this is received well by people who are watching it. Little something for everyone. I'm really enjoying being back in the spirit chair. Thank you so many of you who have commented about the chair, wondering where it was. Glad it's back. Yes, the spirit chair is here, and it will remain. And so we have a nice brand new backdrop going on, and I really love it, and I'm glad you guys love the altar too. So what are we going to be talking about today in the spirit chair? We're going to be talking about the harvest energies. We're going to be talking about the autumn equinox. Okay, here in the northern hemisphere, it's about fall, it's about harvest. We're going to be talking about the harvest moon. We're going to talk about some of the current energies that are happening, and kind of giving you some great tips on how you can bring a little bit more of that harvest magic into your home. Okay, so okay, the harvest moon. I already seen the harvest full moon coming in beautifully the other night. Had that orange look, that orange haze around it, gorgeous, and it really was putting me in the mood for autumn. Now, for those who are on the magical path, the Druids, the Celts, Wiccans, those who are of the craft, we celebrate Maybone for Maybone is the harvest on the 22nd, talking about the equinox. So we're in those energies, and we have the full moon, the harvest moon also. So we're having that all happen, but it also happens to be Mercury retrograde. So as far as harvest goes, yes, I had seen the moon the other night, really was starting to get into that beautiful fall mood. And I have to tell you some of the things that really came up for me. So, first of all, how was I affected the other night by looking at this moon? I have to tell you, the Pisces energy really was working on me, because this harvest moon will be in Pisces. And Pisces happens to be a water sign. It happens to be a very dreamy sign, emotional sign, a very psychic sign too. So it brings out a lot of intuition within us. It brings a lot of feeling spiritual, and also nostalgia too. And I can say the way it impacted me is that I was feeling very nostalgic about some of these really simple, beautiful ways in which I did my magic, brought magic into my home. And I was just feeling just so empowered to bring that magic out. I really, really was. So what I wanted to do was cleanse my house, and it's a really great time to do a cleansing. I often recommend doing a cleansing once a week in your house if you can, energetic cleanse. But I really felt like doing this cleanse was just really symbolic of wanting to take all those negative energies out of the home, anything that might be lingering in any way, even my own thoughts, my own emotions, other people's in the homes, and really bring in that beautiful, magical, peaceful, clean, pure energy. Remember that as we go into the darker half of the year, for those who are in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be about going within. It's going to be about being more inside as we experience the winter. So having that cleansing for your home is an absolutely great time. Now, if you can see behind me, I have lavender here. So many people during this time, go back in history, they brought their herbs in, right? It's harvesting time. So they brought these herbs in, they would dry them, they would cook with them, they would even cleanse with them. They would be used sometimes for magical purposes. For those, who had the farms, right? The farmland, the cattle, all of that. Okay, it's about gathering everything from the land in order to survive during those harsh winter months. And giving thanks for that too. We're going to talk about giving thanks during this time. It's a very huge theme for Maybone and for the Equinox. But for the lavender here that I have behind me, what I love to do is I like to take dried lavender, sometimes in a bundle with sage and cedar. And I like to light that up, and I like to go around the home and cleansing the home. Make sure to crack a window and crack a door, guys. You really want to do that. And cleanse every corner, cleansing that energy, and then bringing fresh new energy in. I like to bring in the golden light to take the place, bring in that into the void after I'm cleansing. So you can use something like dried lavender. If you don't have lavender, you can use sage. Sage and cedar, they go together very, very well. Native Americans often, use the cedar, they use the sage. And I really was feeling like in the mood to do this, doing the cleansing. What I really love to do is to be able to bring that new, fresh energy in, especially after doing so many readings, doing so much work for people. It's really, really important. Another way that I do that is I like to use the broom. Okay, for the witchy folks out there, I like to use the broom. I did do this. I took the broom, went around, cleansed all the corners, cleansed everywhere, okay? Really envisioned that I was cleansing this negative energy out of the home. Made sure I took it all the way down the steps and out the door where that beautiful harvest moon could be seen. And I like to also use bells. So ringing a bell. You can ring a bell. Ringing a bell will absolutely, with sound, will do a great clearing in your home too. There's also things, I didn't use the salt and water yesterday, but you can use sea salt that's cleared and blessed. So make sure you're clearing your sea salt and you're also charging it up with your intention. And then you can mix it in with some water, stir it around, bring some really nice, powerful energy, that intention in of what you wish for it to do. And that becomes a holy water. That's a witch's holy water right there. And you can take that and sprinkle it all throughout your home, each corner. Beautiful, beautiful way of doing it. And the way I ended was taking a cauldron, putting a candle inside of it, and that candle is representing bringing in the light. Bringing in that light within the home where there has been shadows now dispelled and cleared, bringing in that beautiful light to bless the home with health, with peace, with love, with joy, all of those things. Okay? How many of you love cinnamon brooms? Woo! Okay? Cinnamon brooms are a beautiful way of celebrating the harvest season. I just bought a couple of them today. I got one of those mini ones, and I also have the regular size cinnamon brooms. And cinnamon brooms are perfect for really bringing in that beautiful, abundant energy, because this is the time where we're reaping the benefits of our work. We're bringing in that harvest. So buying a cinnamon broom, a couple of cinnamon brooms today, was really a beautiful way of bringing in this harvest energy, harvest moon, Maybone, brings that prosperity in. Okay, cinnamon has an long ancient history. They have used it for eons, bringing in that fire energy, and it's just a gorgeous way of bringing in such beautiful, abundant energy into your life. So you may want to look into cinnamon, and we might think of cinnamon brooms in a different way, rather than just be a beautiful decoration, which it is. You might want to think to yourself, okay, can I do something a little bit more with the cinnamon broom? Maybe I can place my hands on it. A lot of you do Reiki. I know a lot of you also do very high-level cosmic types of healing. And you can bring in that energy, being that conduit for that energy, putting it into the broom, of bringing warmth into your home, bringing prosperity into your home, bringing all types of beautiful abundance into your home, and also protecting your home as well. All right, so you can put all that in and find a beautiful place to put it. You can put it on a door, you could put it in a corner, you could put it in your threshold, wherever you feel like you want to do that. A cinnamon broom is very welcoming, so you can have that energy on that broom of just having this warm gathering type of environment within your space, and people will feel that. They will feel that. So it's just way of bringing some practical magic there, and it's a great time to do it, especially when Pisces is such a spiritual sign. It's all about spiritual activities, so you might want to think about that. Oh, you know what I wanted to mention that I didn't mention? I wanted to share this behind me. I did mention about bells, but we can't forget about rattles. Okay, so for those of you who might resonate with more of the rattle, this is a actual Native American rattle. As you can see here with the gourd, very autumn, right? And the Native Americans actually around this time of year would make rattles for the purpose of clearing out their space, clearing negative spirits or bad spirits away. So for those of you who would rather use a rattle, I tend to go between both. I love bells, but I also really love the whole shamanic feel of the rattle. Now you might want to use a rattle to clear out the energy rather than a bell. So see how you feel, see what works for you. But this is a great time, guys, to cleanse your house and bring that warmth and bring that abundance into your home. Okay? Back there. So this time of year is really so very important because of the gratitude that's associated with it. So Maybone is like the magical person's Thanksgiving. Maybone is, as I said before, about gathering in, taking in the herbs, taking in, bringing in what we have created. Okay, so this is a time of being thankful for what we have actually been able to attain. This is being grateful for what has this year brought, what has this past year brought. Now, I know it's been very difficult out there for so many of you, but it's a very important time to really reflect. This is now coming into the time where we're going within, like I said, and reflecting. Giving thanks always is a beautiful, beautiful way of just not taking things for granted. Sometimes we do. We get caught up in this fast-paced society and we forget to be grateful. For those of you who are writing grateful lists, have grateful journals, or even just giving thanks in your mind in the morning or at night, just fantastic. Really, it's really, there's so many people who have it so much worse than us, and we tend to forget that, and to really count our blessings and honor them. I really love that, and it does open the door. It does open the door to more coming in. Okay, it truly does. So this would be an excellent time to, if you have stopped, maybe start doing a gratitude list. Okay, maybe lighting a candle, sitting with the family, or something simple. You can even light a candle at your dinner table. This could be a very simple, practical magic thing. Lighting a candle, and everyone just reflecting and sharing something that they're really grateful. Even if that day is grateful. I'm grateful for such and such that happened this day. Something simple. I had a pumpkin spice latte. I'm grateful. I know I would be. Okay, so anything. I was grateful the other night for being able to see the harvest moon nice and clear. I was grateful for being able to buy a bottle of vampire wine. Yes, very grateful, as a matter of fact. This is the time also of wine, celebration of wine. Okay, the grapes, the vines. So The earth really does bring to us so many fabulous gifts, really beautiful gifts. Not only do we have so much to be thankful for on a personal level, no matter what, even if you think that you're alone, there are always people around you. There are always people that are connecting with you, even if they're on other parts of the world, maybe if they're in the other states, even if they're online. Being thankful, we have our pets, right? Being thankful about pets, our four-legged friends. Being thankful, though, about what the earth actually gives to us and how miraculous that is, for the grains, for the corn, for the fruit, for all those beautiful colored vegetables, for these gifts that help to sustain life, help to give us nourishment. It really is great. And when you see these pumpkins, when you see the squashes and things like that, I mean, it's just like, wow, it just gets you into that mood of being very thankful. Okay, and I'm thankful for all of you. And for those of you who have been going through a rough time, I think that it would be a beautiful thing to kind of just pull your energies back and think about just the gratitude, what you have learned, the lessons, what gifts that you've retained from a lot of the obstacles that you've had to get through this past year. And I think that when you look at it from that perspective, from the wise person's perspective, you realize, wow, that everything happens for a reason, everything has been in its place, and that you have to pat yourself on the shoulder that you got through so much that when you fell, you somehow found that power to get back up. I mean, that's not easy to do. And when you're on the ascension journey and you're constantly going through many triggers and you're having your shadows come up, it's very difficult to look at those things. It's very difficult to be able to connect with those emotions again, because there are things that are very uncomfortable that people want to forget. They don't want to remember it. And when it gets triggered up, it's a hard time. It's a hard time for many, and many go through tears, many go through angers, many people go through just not feeling excited about life anymore, not excited about the same activities, and lots of things change. So, I definitely have to commend each and every one of you who find the strength again and again to get up and to feel these difficult emotions, to go through these shadows. And remember, you are gaining so many of the gifts of wisdom from these shadows, retaining the lessons, but you are releasing the rest. The goddess that I like to work with during this time of year, now with different deities, of course you know that I work with Archangel Michael very closely. I work with the archangels, I work with the star races, star beings, but of course, as a magical person, I work with the deities as well. I work with the fairy realm as well. I love working with Cerridwen. She is a Welsh goddess, okay, goddess of the moon, goddess of the grain. She is the goddess of inspiration, poetry, knowledge, transformation, and this is her time to me. This is her cauldron for me, and I love being able to celebrate and work with her. And so, since we're in the spirit chair, I'll just give you a little bit of the story, background story. We're not going to go deep in, but just a background story about Cerridwen is that the story goes that she had a very ugly son. He was not very knowledgeable, he was not smart, and so she wanted to create this brew that would make her son not only good looking, but also this great bard. Okay, now the bards, the druids, those are the poets, those are the storytellers, those are the ones that inspire you. They have the knowledge, right? The boy's name was Gwion. Okay, so Gwion Bach. And, the boy that she had look at the cauldron was Gwion Bach to make sure, and an old man, to make sure that this cauldron of inspiration and knowledge went to her son. So we have her son, we have Gwion Bach, we have the old man, and they were there to watch this brew and make sure that her son was going to get these 3 drops from this brew, so that way he could have this fabulous inspiration and he could be that very inspiring bard and be good looking, all the things that he wasn't, okay? But things did not go so well, okay? Gawain ended up getting these 3 drops on his finger, put it in his mouth, and guess what? Everything that she wanted to give to her son now is going to Gawain. He has this ability to shapeshift, so he's shapeshifting, she's shapeshifting, and before you know it, she ends up ingesting him, okay? She ends up eating him up as a hen, all right? And him a piece of grain. So I know these stories are interesting, but there are meanings behind them. So she swallows him up, okay, and it ends up that she gives birth, but when she gives birth, she's giving birth to Gawain, all right, so, but she didn't have the heart to kill him because he was a beautiful looking child, and so he ended up surviving. She puts him down the river, he goes to some nobles, you know, and he ends up becoming this amazing bard, this very well-known bard known as Taliesin. Alright, so that's the story, that's the legend, that's the myth there of Cerridwen, the mother of inspiration. Okay, so within her brew of inspiration, we can find inspiration. I like to, a lot of times, when I make soup, I like to think of Cerridwen and put energy into my soup, into my brew, right, to bring forth whatever it is that I wish to bring forth within that brew. Cerridwen is a great goddess if you are looking to do shadow work. She is a great one to help you to reflect with things, to understand what you're meant to learn, okay, from something, where you're not maybe seeing certain aspects of the situation, or maybe you're not seeing even certain aspects of yourself. So Cerridwen is great with that. As far as being the grain mother, she's perfect for harvest time to celebrate what the earth brings to us. She's also a moon goddess. So for the harvest moon, I think that Cerridwen is a great, great goddess to work with. As a matter of fact, what I'd like to do, and then this is something a little bit different, but I have a cauldron about this size, and I have a whole bunch of different Chinese fortunes in which I put in there. And this, to me, is the symbol of Cerridwen and her inspiration. I actually have the cauldron by her statue. I brought it out here, but this is not the altar where I usually keep it. And I just would like to see, you know, what inspiration would be meant for everyone who is out there watching this video. What inspiration are you meant to hear right now? So I'm going to go and let's see what we can get. We can conjure up. Okay, so here we have it. So let's see. Actually, I could feel I have some yogi tea ones in here too. All right. Got one. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Okay? So this one is inspiration. I don't know if this resonates for anyone personally out there, but whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. All right? So this is about really bringing that passion into what you're doing. So if you're not feeling passionate or connected about what you're doing, you know, how could you do it well? You have to really, this is how I'm taking this inspiration from the cauldron. You want to be excited, you want to feel connected to it, you want to feel as if you are doing something that really speaks to your soul, then you'll want to do it, you'll want to work at it. It's kind of like what we were talking about in the other video, you know, for people who are still in jobs where they're feeling drained, or they feel like they're not really connected to it, and they know that they have other things that they're meant to do for their mission, for their purpose. You can just feel when you're disconnected from something, you just don't want to do it, it feels very forced, you're feeling very drained, very stressed from it. You know, for many, it's like you're not really doing a job so well there, right? You're not doing your self-service, and I'm sure you're not really doing others as much service as you could be if you were doing your purpose, your true passion. So I'm taking this message from the Cauldron of Cerridwen here, is that going within and reflecting within about what you're truly meant to do here, what is your real passion, what is your real purpose, is going to be really key for so many of you. And I'm also receiving too that it's going to be a very potent time to really pay attention to your third eye, pay attention to some of the visions that may come in, pay attention to a lot of the dreams that are coming in around this time for Harvest Moon. You may get some vivid dreams. You may have some scenes that pop up that are going to really help you and give you some guidance, some insight there. Pay attention to what you're feeling. So many of you are empaths out there. And this is going to really help you to understand what it is that you truly will love, what is really you, and you might get some insight on what you could do to take steps, perhaps taking a class, perhaps practicing with your team, with being able to listen into messages intuitively, maybe keep a psychic journal or a dream journal, or practice automatic writing, which is a form of channeled writing. Perhaps your angels and your guides and your team, they'll work with you with being able to enhance your gifts, working on your gifts. Perhaps it's, maybe it's saying no to someone. Perhaps it's saying no to a job and realizing that time's up. I mean, this is not saying for everyone to go and quit their job just like that, but maybe you have been getting that intuition that it's time to leave. And how could you do that? How could you take the steps now in leaving? So what are the next steps there? Whatever it is, you're worth it. You're worth it. Your mission is worth it. It's going to serve others so much when you are doing what you're passionate about, because when you're passionate about something, when it is your true innate abilities, you're going to do it well, and it's going to serve others very, very well. So for those of you who relate to this, that's fantastic, okay? So there might be some soul searching that's going to happen for you. You might want to light a candle this Harvest Moon, and not only give thanks for everything that has come into your life and everything you've learned, even through the sorrow, through the pain, giving thanks even for the earth, though, and the gifts and everything there. But you may want to, connect with that candle, connect with your team, maybe connect with Cerridwen if you feel you resonate with Cerridwen, and really tune in and see what's there for you in terms of what would make you happy. What are the things that you're meant to do, that you'll love to do, that will really be of service to others, and how you can take those steps. Even if they're very tiny steps, it doesn't matter. Every step is a sacred step. Every step is a healing step. Remember that. So this is a really beautiful one. And, it just came to me today that this is usually a private thing that I do, the Cauldron of Inspiration, but I think we're going to keep on doing this. Let me know. Let me know if you like this. It's not tarot cards. It's not oracle cards. I know this is a little strange, but I'm a little strange. But hopefully you guys love me for that. But yeah, let me know below. Comment below if you like the Cauldron of Inspiration, and we can do that, and we can pull some of those and talk about the messages and how that might connect with you. Okay? So let me see if there's anything else that is coming up for me. So we talked about, cleansing the house. We talked about bringing abundant energy in. We talked about Cerridwen. We talked about her story. We talked about reflection. We talked about transformation, transforming. We're transforming. Anytime that we're going through our shadows, anytime we're going through things, every time we are listening to our emotions, we're being triggered, but we're purging out, we are transforming, transformation. And it's important to recognize that these processes are very valuable and they are gifts that we are thankful for. Spiritual activities this harvest moon, really I think are going to be very beneficial. I think that so many people could also use a lot of rest and rejuvenation. So, I think it's a great time to go within. It certainly is for the season, but you may want to engage in some psychic activity. It could be something simple, something that's a spiritual activity, such as cleansing the house or even lighting a simple candle, doing a candle spell or a candle blessing. And I really do feel that for those on this path right now, it really... I want to say this because this is the last part of it that is important, is that we're having this Mercury retrograde energy. And so when we talk about going within, when we talk about reflecting, when we talk about hard things that come up, Mercury retrograde, of course, is within that. So I can't leave that out. So the Mercury retrograde here, we're going to be, going through some layers again, layers that we had thought maybe we finished up, but there's going to be some other things that are going to be there. So we're going to go through September, the end of September with this Mercury retrograde into, I believe it's October 18th. But we have the shadow period, right? We have the shadow period. So just take good care of yourself. Take good care while driving, of course. Take good care as to emails and things like that. But take good care as to what old memories may surface again. This is what I wanted to talk about before ending. The ghosts of the past do tend to arise when we go through the Mercury retrograde. So if you are having old hurts and old faces come up, whether in the dreams or awake, and going through that, it's really a great time for you to be gentle with yourself and pay attention to why these old ghosts are haunting you, these old shadows, and to really give them a chance to express themselves. Okay, give them a chance to express, because for many of you on the Ascension path, you're having some of those old traumas resurface up again. You're having those old stories. Okay, we'll call them ghosts of the past. That's a lot of the times that's what it is. Having those old stories, those old identifications, those old disappointments, those really old hurts resurface again, where you have not really completely healed from it and closed the door, cleared and closed the door on those ghosts for good. So pay attention there as to what comes up and be gentle with yourself at this time. And remember that all of this is to benefit you, to bring you that poetic inspiration, to bring you that transformation, to bring you those gifts of knowledge, to bring those gifts of power, and bring your sovereignty, help you to align with your sovereignty. So the energies here are very accelerated, these energies here are very intense, but they're all here to help you all grow and transform. So thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad all of you have been enjoying the videos. Please leave comments below to connect with me. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, if you'd like a personal light language healing session with me, I also do clearings, but I will be taking a little bit of a break from this with the Mercury retrograde because it's just a lot of energy to deal with for me. But for any service, you can go to my website, theparanormalpriestess.com. I will leave everything in my description below, including my social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Brightest blessings to all of you, and thank you, and I will see you all soon. Take care.